You hold up the shirt. It's soft, it's brand new, no tags, no seams that you can see. You even rub it against your own skin and think, this feels completely fine. But your autistic child recoils like it's made of sandpaper. They cry, they refuse, they melt down over socks, over waistbands, over sleeves that look normal. And somewhere inside you, frustration starts whispering, why is this such a big deal? If you've ever asked that question, this conversation is for you. Before we begin, a quick reminder, we are not medical professionals or therapists. We share lived experience and research-informed insights around nervous system parenting and autism. Always consult qualified professionals for individualized guidance. The big question, why your autistic child refuses to wear clothes that feel completely fine to you? And the short answer is this, because your nervous systems experience fabric very differently. Ready? Because this is Calm Parent Collective, less perfect parent, more real one. But it feels fine to me. One of the hardest parts about clothing battles is that you genuinely don't understand the problem. You can't feel what they're feeling. To you, it's cotton. To them, it might be static electricity crawling across their skin. Autistic children often experience sensory processing differences. That means their brain may register texture, pressure, temperature, or seams with amplified intensity. What feels neutral to you might feel itchy, burning, restrictive, heavy, scratchy, electrified, distracting. It's not drama, it's perception. Sensory processing isn't just sensitivity. When people hear sensory sensitivity, they often imagine mild discomfort. But sensory processing differences can feel overwhelming, even painful. Imagine wearing a shirt that constantly pokes you with tiny needles. Now imagine being told it's not that bad. Just ignore it. You'll get used to it. Your brain will struggle to tune that out. For many autistic children, clothing discomfort doesn't fade into the background. It stays loud. The nervous system factor. Autistic nervous systems often operate closer to fight or flight. When sensory input feels overwhelming, the body doesn't interpret it as minor irritation. It interprets it as threat. That's why clothing refusal can escalate quickly into tears or meltdowns. It's not about fashion preferences, it's about nervous system survival. If your child seems extreme about socks, waistbands, or sleeves, it may be because their nervous system genuinely cannot filter that sensation. Why it happens more with clothes than other things. Clothing is constant. You can walk away from a loud sound, you can leave a bright room, but you can't easily escape fabric touching your body all day. That constant input makes clothing one of the biggest sensory stressors for autistic kids. It's not a 5-second discomfort, it's hours of contact. The sock situation. Let's talk about socks. Seams, toe lines, elastic pressure, twisting inside shoes. What feels minor to you may feel like a rock in their shoe that never moves. And if your child already spent the day masking or regulating at school, even tiny sensory discomfort can push them over their limit. It's rarely just about the sock, it's about cumulative sensory load. When refusal looks like defiance. From the outside, clothing refusal can look stubborn. You might think,
they wore this yesterday. They'll be late. They're just being difficult.
But sensory discomfort is unpredictable. A shirt that felt tolerable yesterday might feel unbearable today because they're tired, they're dysregulated, they're already overstimulated. The fabric feels different after washing. Their skin sensitivity is heightened. Sensory tolerance fluctuates. It's not consistent. The emotional layer. Clothing battles often happen during high-pressure times. Morning rush, school drop-off, family events. That urgency adds emotional intensity. Your stress rises, their stress rises. And suddenly, a waistband becomes a full-blown crisis. The emotional energy around the moment can amplify the sensory distress. Now, it's not just uncomfortable, it's overwhelming. Why forcing it often backfires. It's tempting to say,
"You have to wear it. We don't have time for this. You'll be fine."
but when you force a child into clothing that feels unbearable to them, their nervous system doesn't learn tolerance. It often learns fear. Fear of mornings, fear of getting dressed, fear of not being believed, and that fear makes the next clothing battle even harder. It's not about winning. Clothing struggles can feel like a power struggle, but reframing helps. This isn't a battle of authority. It's a negotiation between comfort and function. Your child isn't trying to control you. They're trying to control their sensory environment. Mean reactions. Sometimes when you insist on clothing, your child may lash out. They might yell, cry, say hurtful things, push your hands away. That reaction isn't personal, it's panic. When the body feels under sensory threat, it defends itself. Again, boundaries still matter, but understanding the root helps you respond differently. The grief for parents. There's also something quiet that doesn't get talked about. Sometimes parents grieve the simplicity. You see other kids throwing on any outfit and running out the door. Meanwhile, you're sorting through the same 2 soft shirts every morning. It's okay to acknowledge that this is harder than you expected. You're allowed to feel that. What helps without turning it into a battle? Many spectrum families eventually find rhythms that reduce stress. Predictability helps. Letting your child choose from safe options helps. Buying duplicates of tolerated items helps. Prioritizing comfort over aesthetics helps. Sometimes the solution isn't teaching tolerance. It's removing unnecessary sensory stress. That's not giving in, that's adapting. This is not spoiling. Let's say this clearly. Accommodating sensory needs is not spoiling your child. If a tag feels like sandpaper, removing it is not indulgence. If certain fabrics cause distress, avoiding them is not weakness. Autistic children are not being dramatic about clothing. They are responding honestly to how their body experiences the world. If your autistic child refuses to wear clothes that feel fine to you, it doesn't mean they're stubborn. It doesn't mean you lack authority. And it doesn't mean you've created the problem. It may simply mean their nervous system experiences texture and pressure differently than yours. Here at Kind Parent Collective, we believe understanding sensory processing is a key part of autism parenting. Not every battle is about behavior. Sometimes it's about biology. If this resonated, consider subscribing so more parents raising autistic and neurodivergent children can feel less alone in the everyday struggles that no one else sees. And tomorrow morning, if the socks cause tears again, remember, if it feels big to them, it is big to them, even if it feels fine to you. And if today was rough, you still did enough. Catch you on the next one.